How's it going, guys? Hope everybody's been well. I'm here to talk about ham radio today. I'm over here at Fiesta Island, SoCal, waiting on my buddy to get here so we can start overlanding. Just kidding. Welcome to Backcountry Daily. This is Mr. G, and on today's agenda we're going to be talking about ham radio. For a while now, I've had a lot of friends, group members on Facebook that are part of other off-roading groups that I belong to, bring up a certain question about ham radios that I felt like I need to address. I feel like I could share some pretty decent information with you guys from experience, both having a degree in electrical engineering and having my ticket for the ham radio for about 3 years now. I would like to share some information to get those of you that are new to the hobby or that are interested in getting into it, so you don't get turned off, so you don't feel like it's too complicated, so you don't feel like it's way too techy. Some people may say, well, this tech stuff's not for me. You know, I use them like walkie-talkies and whatnot with my buddies on the trail, and that works fine for me. Well, here's the deal. Most guys that get into ham radio, they will first pick up this Baofeng. It's the most basic. This particular model is a BF-F9V2. Usually they're like the UV5R, whatever, the most popular one. I believe the only difference is this is pushing like another watt or two of power over the UV5R. But they all do the same thing. They all work the same way, and they're all very, very inexpensive. So most people buy this radio. They literally, maybe, if I'm lucky, they charge their battery and they throw this in their vehicle thinking that no matter where they're at on this planet, and if they need help, they'll just turn this on, dispatch somebody, God knows who, and next thing they know, there's going to be a rescue team on their way. Well, no, that's not how it works, guys. It's equivalent to having, you remember the old dial phone, the rotary phone that we all had at our parents' house, at our own house growing up? It's equivalent to having that phone and having no phone numbers memorized and trying to call either for help or trying to call a buddy or a family member or a friend. Oh, that's just great. You guys got to see this. This guy's being, look at this. What an idiot. This is how you get kicked out. Oh, wow. So it's equivalent of basically having, of having an old rotary phone at your parents' house back in like 1980s and 1990s without a single phone number memorized or written down, and you're trying to call all your buddies for them all to come over to your house or something for some old Super Nintendo game night or whatever, right? You're not gonna be able to call anybody. You might as well just start randomly dialing people. This is the same exact way. These radios are completely useless out of the box without understanding, one, how they work, the principle of operation, at least the most basic principle of operation. I'll go over it. This is going to be a short video. I'm not going to get too nitty-gritty into all that stuff. I just want to tell you guys that, and I won't set you up for failure. I'll make sure that you guys take off running and not get frustrated with it. So you can go ahead and buy this radio. By all means, I'm not saying these are bad radios. They're actually really great. To get into the hobby, to have a real ham radio, this is a great start. Now, and it's a little bit versatile, so let me explain how this is versatile. You can use it in this form. You could also use it with a longer antenna like this one, or you can get an adapter and connect it to an antenna like I have on the roof. I'll show you guys in a little bit. It's way bigger and will get you a lot more range. So the reason why everybody gets this is because it's inexpensive, and they get them, they throw them in, like I said, I'm lucky if they charge it, they'll throw it in their vehicle, and then that's it. And let's say they're out in the middle of nowhere, and let's say they break down, and let's say they truly need to call for help. Well, they're not gonna be able to do it. One, because most likely they're gonna be too far away from another, anybody with another walkie-talkie that's gonna be reachable with just a little antenna like this. And the 5 to 8 watts of power that this unit's pushing out, that's very little power and very low range, especially if you're going radio to radio. The reason being is because of curvature of the earth and a bunch of stuff getting in your way. So we're only, what, about 5 to 6 feet tall, and another person's about 5 to 6 feet tall. So unless you're on top of the mountain and another person's on top of the mountain, down at sea level or just at normal flat ground, you're not going to be getting much more than about a mile. So if you're in the middle of nowhere and you're away from civilization, chances are no one's going to be able to hear you, and definitely chances are that out of like a million different channel possibilities, you're going to be not on the same channel as that other person. So what you need to do is, don't just go and buy this and throw it in your box into your recovery gear and thinking, oh, I can go to North Pole and I'll be fine because, I have my ham radio. Famous quote from every group and every forum online: I don't need a license. I just use it. I just talk to my buddies on a trail. Well, that's great and all. You might as well just go to Walmart and buy a walkie-talkie, right? Because using this, there's a guy riding a quad. What's going on tonight? You can't ride a quad out here, but that's good for him. So buying this and not having a license or any understanding of how this works, or programming any information into this, is equivalent to a normal kid's walkie-talkie that you can buy at Walmart. So do yourself a favor, buy a walkie-talkie at Walmart, give one to your buddy, go on the same channel, and it's like the easiest thing in the world to use, right? The only difference between that and this is this has slightly better battery life. So what you need to do is, you don't necessarily need to go get your license, but what you need to do at a bare minimum is program your local repeaters into this. A repeater is a tower, a station, somewhere up in a high elevation, some mountain peaks nearby, whatever. And what it does is, you're here, your buddy's here, repeater's up here. You two can't communicate to one another. There's a bunch of stuff in the way and you're too far apart. But you can go, you can send a signal to the tower or the repeater, and the repeater can send it to your buddy. So using a repeater, you can actually call for help, because there's more than one person on any given repeater at any given point in time monitoring it, meaning they have the radio on the repeater's frequency and they're just listening. They could be cooking dinner, they could be doing whatever. Radio could just be turned on in the background. If they hear somebody calling for help, they're gonna hop in their truck in there, especially if they know you, they're gonna go and help you out. And I'll give you guys some more pointers of how to get known in the ham community, so when you do call for help, people don't just think you're some crazy guy. They actually know who you are by your call sign, and that's given to you when you do get your license. So 2 ways to do it. The most simplest, easiest way is to buy one of these radios, get the programming cable, watch some YouTube videos on how to use that programming cable. I may make a video on how to use it. If you guys care to know, I can make a video, post it in the comments, let me know. I'll make a video on how to use a cable. Get a programming cable, USB, works with any computer. You plug it into this radio and you download all your local repeaters, or all the local repeater frequencies that you're planning on going in those areas. Let's say you're in California, you want to travel to Arizona for the weekend and do some exploring. Well, figure out where you're going, download the repeaters in that area into this radio, and in an emergency situation, you can legally call for help without a license using this radio, and you'll have a hell of a lot more chance of reaching somebody and getting help if you actually hit a repeater, because that repeater is going to throw your signal all around the area, and signal can go 80 miles plus, no problem, on the right day in the right condition. So you have those frequencies programmed in here. Listen to them, turn the radio on and listen, and make sure there's some traffic. Make sure that you could hear other people talking that are licensed. Now, do that, and then you could also use this as a walkie-talkie and talk to your buddies on a trail. No one's taking that opportunity away from you. And yeah, you technically need a license for that, but if you don't have one, you're in the middle of nowhere, your 5-watt signal with this short of an antenna is really not going anywhere by your buddy's car. So you're not really going to disturb any public safety, or you're not going to interfere with any police work or anything like that. So don't worry. Can FCC still get you? Yeah. Will they? No, they don't have the resources, nor are you worth their time or their resources to go waste it on you to take this little radio away from you. I mean, that's not in anybody's interest. Now, what I do recommend is you getting this radio, you going onto your Play Store and downloading an app that allows you to study for the ham exams. You don't need to go and learn and become an engineer, an electrical engineer. You don't need to do that. You just download the app, it's free, start playing around with it, take practice tests, and study all the stuff, all the material for technician. That's what you need to use one of these. Don't worry about your general or your extra. Those are for, you know, the guys that really want to. I don't even have my general, and I'm an electrical engineer, so I just don't have a need for it. So for 2 meter and 70 centimeter, that's a frequency, that's the band that this operates, that these radios operate on. You definitely want at least a 2 meter radio. If you can get a dual 2 meter 70 centimeter in one package, that's great. This is dual. Some of them are tri-band. Don't waste money on that. No one's ever going to be on the 220 band. But get yourself a 2 meter radio or a dual 2 meter 70 centimeter. Handheld Baofeng is going to be your cheapest bet. Your next cheapest bet is going to be a handheld Yaesu. This is a more expensive Japanese made unit. It's just quality made. I've been in a rollover with this. There's not even a scratch on this. It's got pretty banged up inside the Jeep. Quality radio will last you a lifetime, and as long as they don't change our bands, this will be a very good investment for you. Another option, and my favorite option, keep in mind, I don't recommend this being the only option, is a base station or a mobile rig. So this is a 50-watt unit that has a handheld microphone, right, with your keypad for you to enter all your stuff on the fly, and you have an outside long powerful antenna that'll get your signal out there. So I recommend a rig like this. It's a 50-watt Yaesu or Kenwood or an ICOM. A B-Tech, I believe, makes a decent 25-watter, but 25, 50 watt, I recommend a 50-watt unit is an excellent unit. This is directly hardwired to your vehicle. My car is not even on right now, and I can use it, but you got to be mindful of your battery. You could program all your repeaters. See, this says Sharp Hospital, Nat Sim, National Sim, Laguna, CZ. So these are all my repeaters that I commonly use. So if I'm in trouble, I simply go, you know, scroll through the commonly used repeaters, go to the one I know people on, and I call for help. What do I mean by know people on? So this is some of the pointers I wanted to give you guys, is that when you get your license, you look up your local repeaters and you start listening to them, you'll quickly learn that most of your local repeaters will have what's called a net meet. What a net meet is pretty much people that frequent that repeater get to all check in at a certain day and time allocated. They usually allocate about an hour for it. Usually it's on a weekend, some do during the weekdays, whatever. So you'd go to that repeater's frequencies. Somebody will be administering this meet, and they will guide you through what you need to do. But basically you listen, and when it's your turn to register yourself, you could do so, and then every week they'll call you your call sign, and then you could just reply to it. That's how people get to know each other. Then when you start using the repeater more and more, you start talking to all these people that are frequently on it. Whenever you need help, if you are in trouble, you could simply, you know, scroll through your repeater, call for help, and say KM6 WEB, for example. It's a call sign. This is KM6 IMG, whatever. And I'm over here, I'm stranded, I have a flat tire, whatever the case may be. Can you please come help me out? Or can you call somebody that can come out? Can you call you know, your local authorities? Can you call your local search team, search and rescue, whatever needs to, you know, tow truck, whatever you need, right? So it gives you peace of mind, and it gives you a lot of range in the middle of nowhere where there's no cell phone service, and keeps you it keeps you from having to buy a really expensive satellite phone. That's how I would approach it. Is I would buy a handheld, a Baofeng, and then when you're ready to buy your next radio, I would get the 50-watt built-in radio or a mobile radio, and have those two, so you can be on your foot with this, and that can be directly hardwired to your vehicle. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off. So you're kind of covered on both bases. Or go ahead and get yourself one of these, which is just a more quality, better made handheld than a Baofeng. Just better circuitry, it'll last longer, and will have less interference, and just cleaner sound overall, and just overall better quality. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with these Chinese Baofengs. They're great radios. They're absolutely excellent. I have like 4 or 5 of these. They're kind of disposable. If you end up breaking one, it's not the end of the world. and they're great to have, so you can hand it to a buddy of yours that doesn't have a license, that you are going to be on a trail with, or even has a license, just for backups. Don't think that you need to do a whole bunch of, you know, research and studying. You know, just familiarize yourself with it. Download the app, it's free. Take some trial tests, make sure you're doing 80% or better on all of them. Then go get your exam. Look up where the exams are held. Usually they're local. Go sign up for it, go take it. About $15, some of them are free. Get your license, and then you can really dig into this hobby. And I'll do more videos and I'll explain a little bit more technical side and things like that. But for now, don't just buy this radio, throw it in your recovery box, thinking that when you're out there and you're gonna get in trouble, that you're gonna be able to call for help. No way, absolutely no way. And watch some YouTube videos on how to use these, how to program these. Get this radio, get the programming cable, program the local repeater frequencies, start listening to them. If you get hooked, start practicing, go get your license, go get a better radio, hardwired into your vehicle, and you'll have all your bases covered. Now, this could be used as a hobby, or this could be used solely for emergency. If you're solely going to use it for emergency use, you don't need a license, but at least do yourself a favor and learn how to use it. I hope you guys could take something away from this. I hope that my tips are going to help you out, get you into this hobby the right way. You guys have a wonderful day. Stay tuned for more of these videos. Hit that like, hit that sub button if you haven't done so already. And I'm gonna have myself a good night here at Fiesta Island, making some food and relaxing in the back of the 4Runner on the new mattress that I made. Maybe another video. Well, take care.